Have you ever wondered if there's more to life than meets the eye, waiting to be found? What if I told you that there are 12 powerful universal laws that govern our lives? These laws can unlock the secrets to a profound transformation. Today, we start a journey to uncover these 12 powerful universal laws. This journey promises not only knowledge, but also transformation. Imagine living in a world where everything is linked and your thoughts, actions, and feelings are not just your own, but also part of a bigger plan. This is not a dream. It is the world of the law of divine oneness. This law is the building block of the universe and the thread that connects all of our lives to the big picture of existence. The law of divine oneness is very simple but very deep. Everything is linked. Our thoughts, actions, and feelings are not just personal, they are like waves in the vast ocean of the universe that affect people and events in ways we can't even imagine. This law teaches us that we are not separate from the rest of the universe, but are instead important parts of it. Think of a time when a stranger's smile made you feel better, or when a mean word made you feel worse. These are real-life examples of the law of divine oneness at work. Your happiness spreads happiness, and your sadness spreads sadness. Realizing how everything is connected is the first step to living a balanced and harmonious life. What does this law mean for us? It reminds us that every thought we have, every word we speak, and every action we take has meaning. It tells us that we are not just passive observers in the universe, but active participants in its story. By aligning our thoughts and actions with the positive energy of the universe, we can make positive changes and ripples throughout our day. We should always remember that we are a part of something bigger than ourselves. This should give us strength and inspiration, and it should guide our decisions and actions so that we can live in harmony with everyone around us and with the universe itself in the dance of the cosmos. When we understand how we are all connected through the law of divine oneness, we move on to the second universal law, the law of vibration. This law whispers a deep truth about the world and our place in it, and when we understand it, it changes everything. Everything in the universe, from the tiniest particle to the biggest planet, is always moving and vibrating at its own frequency. Like a pebble making waves in a pond, everything you think, feel, and do sends out its own vibrational frequency into the universe. This law tells us to look past the illusion of being separate and still to see a world full of energy and motion. What does this mean for you? It means that your thoughts, feelings, and actions are not just inside your head. They are energetic vibrations that interact with the vibrations of the universe. Negative thoughts send out lower frequencies, and positive thoughts send out higher frequencies. Knowing this gives us a powerful way to change our lives and attract what we want. For example, when you're feeling love or joy, your body vibrates at a high frequency, and the universe responds in kind. When you're stuck in cycles of negative thoughts or feelings, you attract experiences that match those lower frequencies. We shouldn't try to hide or ignore our feelings. Instead, we should be aware of them and try to raise our vibrational state. Let's look at how to use this law in our daily lives. First, pay attention to your thoughts and feelings. Then ask yourself, what kind of energy am I sending out into the universe? Do things like meditation, gratitude, and awareness to raise your vibration. Remember that it's not about being perfect, but about making progress. Even small changes in your vibration can have big effects on your life. As we go through these laws, it's important to remember that each one builds on the one before it. For example, the law of vibration and the law of divine oneness go hand in hand. Your vibration affects your life and the energy of the universe as a whole. When you raise your vibration, you change yourself and affect the world around you for the better. Continuing our study of the universe's deep rhythms, we reach the third universal law, the law of action. This law is an important link between the world of thoughts and vibrations inside our heads and the world of creation and experience outside our heads. The law of action tells us that if we want to make our dreams and goals come true, Our actions must match what we think and want. It's a call to be involved in the weaving of our lives. The law of vibration sets the stage by lining up our energetic frequencies, and the law of action moves us forward, making our potential a reality. Think about this. No matter how strong our intentions and dreams are, they remain vague without action. It is our actions that give our thoughts shape and substance. The universe reacts not only to our wants, but also to the work we put into achieving them. Every step we take towards our goals, no matter how small, is an important part of the journey. But how do we make sure that our actions are in line with our intentions? It all starts with clarity. Know exactly what you want to bring into your life. Then, break it down into steps that you can actually take. These steps are your actions, the real-world manifestations of your inner desires. Remember that the universe doesn't expect big actions. Even small actions that are in line with our intentions can have a big effect. As we look at how this law works with the others, let it serve as a reminder that we are not just observers of the universe's games. We are active participants who help make our reality. No matter how small an action seems, it is a powerful statement of our intentions and desires. As we use the law of action in our daily lives, let it remind us that our dreams are not just wishes, but possibilities that are waiting to come true through focused, aligned action. Let's look at the fourth universal law, which is called the law of correspondence. This law says that the physical, mental, and spiritual planes of existence are connected in a way that looks like a mirror. It says that the patterns and truths we see in the outside world are reflections of our inner world. The law of correspondence is based on the old saying, as above, so below, as within, so without. This saying says that our thoughts, beliefs, and feelings affect what we experience in the outside world. This law says that if we change our inner world, we can change our outer world. Take a moment to think about the world around you. Your relationships and the place where you work are all reflections of your inner thoughts and feelings. A chaotic outer world often means that your inner world is in chaos, while a peaceful outer world often means that your inner world is in harmony. The law doesn't say who is to blame, but it does give us the power to change our situations by changing how we feel inside. How do we use this law in our daily lives? It starts with self-reflection. Take some time to think about your inner world. Are your thoughts positive or negative? Are your beliefs mostly good or negative? Do they help you or hold you back? Figuring out what your inner world is like is the first step to making the outside world you want. As we use the law of correspondence in our daily lives, let it act as a guide to inner balance and harmony. By focusing on positive thoughts, empowering beliefs, and a peaceful inner state, we can create a life that is in line with our highest goals. Now we'll talk about a particularly powerful thread, the law of attraction. This law adds a new dimension to our journey and shows us how powerful our thoughts and feelings can be. That's how the law of attraction works. Things that are similar to us attract things that are similar to us. Our thoughts and feelings are like magnets that bring us experiences and situations that are similar to how we feel inside. Let's look at a day in the life through the lens of the law of attraction. This law is not just an idea in philosophy, it's a rule that we can follow and use in our daily lives. When you wake up in the morning with a positive attitude and look forward to good things, you create the conditions for good things to happen. On the other hand, if you start the day feeling bad or afraid, you will likely have experiences that make you feel worse. And just like listening into a radio station, you get what you're tuned into. But it's important to know that the law of attraction is not a magic wand. You need to believe and feel in order for it to work. Imagine you want a new job. It's not enough to just think about it. You have to believe it's possible and feel excited about having it. This emotional energy sends a strong message to the world that your desire is in line with reality. Law of attraction is beautiful because it is both simple and powerful. It gives us the power to take charge of our lives and teaches us that our thoughts and feelings are not just clouds in our minds. They are seeds that grow into the reality we experience. Within the complex web of universal laws lies the law of cause and effect, which is often summed up in the phrase, "As you sow, so shall you reap." This law is essential to understanding how life works. The law of cause and effect says that everything we do has an effect on other things. To understand this, think of life as a huge network where every action, whatever it is, starts a chain of responses. It teaches us that nothing happens by accident. Everything that happens in our lives is a result of something we did, thought, or decided before. This law makes us realize something very important. The choices we make today shape our future. Let's look at what this law means in real life. If you are kind to others, they will often be kind back to you in ways you didn't expect. On the other hand, if you are mean to others, bad things will happen. This law doesn't work by itself. It works with the other universal laws we've looked at. The things we think and feel, law of vibration, the things we do, law of action, and the energy we attract, law of attraction, all affect what happens to us in life. But the law of cause and effect is more than just a way to make sense of the universe. It's also a way to live a conscious life. It tells us to stop and think about how our actions will affect others in the future. In a world that often values instant gratification, this law reminds us to think about the seeds we are planting for our future. How can we use this law in our daily lives? First, we need to be aware of ourselves. Think about your actions and the results they might have. Do they fit with the life you want to create? This law also tells us to take responsibility for our lives. Instead of seeing ourselves as victims of circumstance, we can choose to see ourselves as powerful creators who shape our future with every choice we make. The law of compensation is the next concept we learn about on our journey through the universal laws. It helps us understand how life is balanced and fair. This law, which is often called the Great Balancer, makes sure that there is an equal or greater response to every action, especially when it comes to blessings and rewards. The law of compensation is like the scales of justice. It makes sure that what we give and what we receive are equal. These laws aren't just about making money. They cover all kinds of blessings, kindness, and love. They reassure us that the universe is fair, even if it's not obvious at first. To see how these laws work, just think about the acts of generosity and kindness you show to others. These kinds of actions often come back to you, and sometimes from the strangest places. It's like planting a seed of kindness and watching it grow into something much bigger than the original act. This is how the law of compensation works. What you put out into the world often comes back to you in greater numbers. But it's important to know that this law isn't a transactional one. The universe doesn't work on a strict quid pro quo basis. Instead, it's about the energy and intention behind your actions. When you give from the heart, without expecting anything in return, the universe often repays you in beautiful and surprising ways. This law works well with the ones we've already talked about. It supports the law of cause and effect by making sure that the results of our actions are fair and balanced. It also supports the law of attraction because our kindness brings us good things. Finally, it connects with the law of action by stressing that our actions, especially those that are meant to help others, have a big impact on our lives. We can follow the law of compensation in our daily lives by being generous and kind. Being kind doesn't just mean giving things. It also means giving time, attention, or even just an ear to listen. Every act of kindness is like putting money into the bank of the universe, which pays off in many ways. As we continue our study of universal laws, we come to the law of perpetual transmutation of energy, which is a dynamic and transformative principle. This law shows how energy and reality are always moving and changing. It suggests that everything around us is always changing because of the energy we give off through our thoughts, feelings, and actions. The main idea behind the law of perpetual transmutation of energy is that energy is always moving and changing form. It also tells us that high vibrational energy will always try to change lower vibrational energy. This means that strong, positive energy has the power to change and raise the energy around it. Imagine you're in a room with other people. Your energy, whether it's good or bad, doesn't stay inside you. It spreads out and affects the people and things around you. This is the law of perpetual transmutation of energy at work. When you go into a room, if you're full of good energy, you can make everyone in the room feel better. This rule is related to both the rule of vibration and the law of attraction. The kind of energy you're changing depends on your vibrational state, and you then attract more of the same. These words are a strong warning that we are not just passive recipients of the energy around us. We are constantly shaping and being shaped by the energy we come across. To use this law in your daily life, you should first become aware of your own energy and how it might be affecting other people. To create positive energy, try meditation, mindfulness, and gratitude. Remember that you can choose how you react energetically, even when things are hard. As the law of perpetual transmutation of energy says, we should be positive change agents. When you're around negativity, don't let it pull you down. Instead, keep your vibe high. Your positive energy can help change the situation, turning negativity into something more positive. We come across the law of relativity as we continue to study the universal laws. This wise principle teaches us that our experiences are relative and that our point of view changes our reality. Nothing in life is inherently good or bad, big or small, easy or hard. These qualities only exist in relation to something else. The law of relativity says that each person's life experience shows what they think and believe inside. It shows how important context and perspective are. For example, a problem might seem impossible to solve until it's put next to a bigger problem, which makes it seem doable. This law pushes us to see our situations in light of other people's, which builds empathy and understanding. The law of relativity says that when two people face the same problem, one sees it as a huge loss and the other as a small problem. Even though the situation is the same, their views, which are based on their own experiences and beliefs, change what they see. This law fits perfectly with the ones we've already looked at. It works with the law of vibration to show how our perception affects our frequency. It also works with the law of perpetual transmutation of energy to show how our perspective can change the energy of our situations. Finally, it works with the law of cause and effect to show how our attitude can change the results of our actions. This law also teaches us how to use comparison to grow and be thankful. When we compare our situations, not to put others or ourselves down, but to see things from a different point of view, we become more compassionate and understanding. It helps us see that what we think is a problem may actually be a chance. Now we'll talk about the law of polarity. This principle helps us see how the world is made up of two parts, light and dark, hot and cold, positive and negative. The law of polarity says that opposites are just different ways of describing the same thing. For example, think of a mountain with two sides, one in the sun and one in the shade. The sunny side represents warmth, light, and visibility, while the shady side represents coolness, darkness, and mystery. Both sides are necessary for the mountain to exist. These are similar to the different polarities we experience in our lives, and each one teaches us something different. This law has big effects on our daily lives. It says that whenever we face a negative situation, we can find its opposite, the positive side. For example, every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Realizing this can change how we deal with life's problems. Perspective is important in the law of polarity because something that seems bad in one situation might be good in another. It also fits with the law of vibration because how we see polarity can change our vibrational state. Understanding that our experiences are dual helps us stay balanced and in harmony. Thinking about a recent problem and then trying to find the good thing about it is the point of this exercise. It's not about denying the problem, it's about realizing that there is always another side to the story. Realizing this can be very freeing and empowering. Accepting the law of polarity means realizing that all of our experiences are complete, just like a battery has both a positive and a negative pole. Now we'll talk about the law of rhythm, which says that everything in the world is cyclical. Just like the tides and seasons change in a predictable way, so do the things that happen in our lives. This law says that everything works in cycles. Life has natural rhythms and patterns. There are times when things grow and expand, and then there are times when they shrink and rest. Being aware of these patterns can help us move through the different stages of our lives with grace and understanding. If you think about your own life, you may notice times when things seem to go smoothly, and times when problems seem to be everywhere. These cycles are normal and will happen again and again, just like day follows night. The important thing is to ride these waves and know that after every low point, there will be a high point. We should not fight life's natural rhythms, according to the law of rhythm. When we are experiencing growth and expansion, we can use this energy to move towards our goals. On the other hand, when things are quiet, we can use this time to rest and recharge. This law goes along with the law of polarity, because it tells us that there will always be a positive phase after a negative one. It also goes along with the law of vibration, because our internal rhythm affects our vibrational frequency. When things are hard, remember that they are just part of life's rhythm. Instead of fighting them, learn to flow with them. This doesn't mean being passive. It means being aware and flexible, knowing that these phases are only temporary. This law tells us that life is not a fixed experience but a journey with cycles and rhythms. Accepting this idea can help us live a more balanced and peaceful life where we go with the flow of events. The last law in our series on the 12 universal laws is the law of gender, which is a deep concept that sums up all the laws we've looked at. The law of gender says that everything in the universe has both a masculine and a feminine side. This law isn't just about gender in the way we humans understand it, it's about the basic polarity that exists in everything. It's about balance, harmony, and the dance between forces that are at odds with each other. In this law, the masculine aspect includes traits like strength, action, and reasoning, while the feminine aspect includes traits like intuition, openness, and creativity. Both are important, and one is not better than the other. Life is a balance and interaction of these energies. This law's main idea is that we should see and respect the masculine and feminine sides of ourselves and the world around us. It's a reminder that accepting both our assertive and caring sides will make our lives more complete and satisfying. The law of gender beautifully sums up all the other laws we've looked at so far. It's similar to the law of polarity. It has to do with how opposite forces interact, and how the balance within reflects the balance without. It goes well with the law of rhythm because it shows how the dance between masculine and feminine energies creates the rhythm of life. Let the law of gender be a reflection of the beauty and balance in the universe as we use its wisdom in our daily lives. By respecting both the masculine and feminine sides of ourselves, we can make a life that is full, balanced, and in line with the laws of the universe. Each universal rule stands as a basic principle that helps us understand the world and our place in it. As we look at these rules, let them inspire, guide, and give you strength on your path to self-discovery and personal growth.